Hello and welcome back to the grid. Welcome back to Let's Build the Megazord. Today with magazines 81 to 86 and some baseplate parts. So I guess the last one was 2 boxes ago. So I can assume in another 2 boxes. So we have 16 today, 17 will be nothing, 18 might be another baseplate part, so that we potentially can conclude that in like 2 months. I'm excited. Let's see if that's true or not, and let's see if I remind myself and remember that in 2 boxes. Anyways, we got 81, which is this, another part ensemble for Triceratops, which we had as a assemble part last box, or I said like maybe 1 more or 2 and then we're continuing with something else. And yes, we do. We have 82, which is Sabertooth Tiger, and it seems to be a foot. Yeah. More Sabertooth Tiger. That's the rest of that foot. And what is it? Yeah, 83. And we have 84. Which is in there upside down for whatever reason. Yeah, metal and just some screws. So sorry for the rattling noises, but that's the problem with these bags. So we're closing off the other half of Sabertooth Tiger today. Maybe even completing that thing would be great. I mean, we completed the pterodactyl, so it would be the second Zord that's complete. Here's 85, which is the cannon. And then 86 to, upside down again, to close everything off. So let's see how far we can get if we complete our second Zord today. If not, maybe in the next box. So head over to the building table and start building. Welcome to the building table. The last 2 parts for the top circle. And I assume with the next box, not the next box, like the next box where parts for this is in there, we will get something to fill out these gaps, and we will have some room here when the bottom part is there, which is over there somewhere. So that might be a thing. I hope they send it out in one and not like, hey, here's 2 and yeah, well, wait 2 boxes and here's another 2. That would be really annoying. So as easy as last time, we connect this here, connect that, we have some screws, and then we have a circle. Also, this was lying around for a while now, and when I look over there, there's the bottom part. Yeah, I like the black, it looks nice, but it collects dust very fast. So my plan for this is, when it's done, that on the ground, roughly here I guess, that's the plan, in front of the Ranger Key shelf here. And then Megazord on top, and I will have an acrylic cylinder on top, which encloses everything. I will have that custom made, like parts I have here for my shelf, and that shelf at the beginning of that acrylic closing everything in, which saves a lot of time when dusting. So keep that in mind if you collect stuff like I do. Even if I just have to clean that once a year, because the wood is very nice, it's sand oak, it collects so less dust, but still, getting that off the shelf just once a year or every 6 months is a chore. Anyways, I will put this together and we'll see us in a sec. We have a circle, very fast, very easy, 4 screws. I mean, we've done this in the past in previous videos where we connect part by part, 2 screws per part, here, and so on. Yeah, let's move on to the main act. Magazine 81, Triceratops. So let's start. We are starting with these 3 pieces. We done that last time I think it was the last thing we done in box number 15. God damn it, my memories. It's been a while. I just realized I started this project a year ago by now. That's crazy. So we take this part which resembles the chains and these two flat parts. So we need this part and facing it like this. Then we have this one goes in here, and then we have this one goes in here. So if that's correct assembled, it's flush and doesn't have anything that resists. If you have it like this, up top where my fingers are, 2 screws. There's just one type of screw, so you can't mess that up. Here's a little hinge part, should look like this. So if that's facing the wrong direction, this is for a movable part, moving up and down here, you would have a problem, so make sure it looks like in this video. Next part, we put on the 4 wheels, 2 small ones in the middle and the bigger ones on the outside. Should look like this. Push them down till they flush and they click. Then you're good. For the next step, we take the assembled part and this little piece that slots on here. And you can see 2 screw holes. So take the assembled part from last time. And then it looks like this. And now we have to put 2 screws in here. When you're done, it looks like this. And it also moves down and up. For the next step, we take these 2 parts. The big one goes on here, the smaller one in front here. And don't forget to glue it in place, otherwise it might drop out. This is your results. And for the next step, this one goes on here. And like before, don't forget the glue. This is your result. Looks very nice, but that will stay apart for now. And I assume we won't screw this together today because we need the outer plastic part for this. So yeah, sorry my guy. You have to wait a little bit more. Sorry I missed the part. There's another silver piece that needs to be glued here. So don't forget that one. For the next part we need this black piece and these claws. There are 3 of those. They slide on here, but they only hold in place with glue, so you know what you have to do. Here's our assembled claw. Goes on here. And don't forget to glue it in place, otherwise you will have it dropping out. We're done with this magazine. Let's move on to the next. Magazine 82. Let's start. We have these 3 plastic parts that create 1 claw. Just like this. And 1 screw holds it in place. There are 2 types of screws, a set of 4 and a set of 2. We need 1 from the set of 4. Next, we need this plastic piece and this metal bolt. The plastic has an R in the middle of it, so the right one. The metal bolt goes in here. Push it down till it's flush and we're done. For the next step, we will combine these 2 and the part on the desk, basically like this, and the other one on top. But before we do that, there are rubber washers. They're transparent. If the camera picks it up, here's one and here's one. Make sure to have them on there, otherwise it would be very loose and not really stay in place because it's movable. Just like this. And we use another screw from the set of 4 again to hold it on place on both sides. This is your result. Now it's movable, but not too loose that you can do stuff like this and it doesn't fall down again. The last step for this magazine is one screw from the set of 2 that goes in here. I assembled that already. Let's move on to the next one. Next is magazine 83. For the next step, we need this part that we assembled just a moment ago, and this wheel, well, half of it, goes in here. There's a groove on top, so here's the counterpart. Goes in there and looks like this. Make sure you take the 2 parts that are a bit bigger with the inner circle, because the next step is this little cylinder plastic bolt thingy, whatever you want to call it, that goes in here, slides right through on both sides. After you're done, it looks like this, and then you take the other half of the wheel and complete that. There's some screws in there, so after you have this side on, screw goes in, holds everything tight together. You have 2 of those, so you have to do this twice. When you're done, it looks like this. Only thing left to do, these silver caps, close this off, 2 of those, and use some glue to hold everything in place. When you're done, it looks like this. And the only thing left to do with this magazine is this plastic piece and this metal bowl goes in here. I've done that already. Everything else, these 2 parts here, the screws that are left over, move on to the next magazine. Magazine 84 is this metal plate and 2 silver screws, so let's continue. We begin with these 2 parts. This one has an R on it, so make sure you use that one. And just like this, slides together. We have this metal bolt in here, so that's the connection we have to establish. When you are done, it looks like this. Now we need the leg, and this slides in here. It should look similar like that. And it just rests there loosely for now. Make sure that here is the bolt part sticking out that has this flat end for the connection for that piece here. Speaking of which, this closes this off. This is your result. And make sure, here where my finger is, that you use the screw from the previous magazine, one of the leftovers, to have everything connected permanently. For the last step for this magazine, we use this metal plate and the assembled leg. Goes in here. And here where my finger is, goes one of the silver screws to hold everything in place. I will screw that together and we see us in the next magazine. Magazine 85. We are now getting to the interesting part. No, not because it's the canon, because it's something new. Everything before in this box was repeats from last boxes that we had. Triceratops was a half of something from before. Same with Sabertooth Tiger. And now we're getting finally to something new. We are using this part here from the cannon, the right half, and this gray piece that slides in here. The left half closes this off, and we need one screw to hold everything in place. This screw goes in here, and your results look like this. For the next step, we use this part. It has an R inside, so make sure you use that one. And this piece, which is red and black, slides in here. And then we take the assembled cannon piece, boom, goes in here. Your results are this, and this gray piece has an overhang, which slides into this groove to make this movable here and don't slide out. Now take the final part and close it off. For the next step, we use this front cannon piece and glue it here on top. There's a groove, and here's the counterpart. So if you want to, you cannot, even if you want to, you cannot put it on in the wrong direction. When the front piece is glued in place, looks like this. Final step for this magazine, this top plate goes on here. Also some glue to have everything in its right position. This is your final results for this magazine. Let's move on to the next one. Magazine 86, the final one for today. Oh boy, I looked ahead on the steps. We are actually completing the sword today. This is great. So we take the main part and the cannon. Here's a hole. The cannon goes in here. After that, this plastic piece goes on top till it clicks, and 2 screws hold everything in place. I show you the results in a moment. Here you have the results. There are my fingers. I have to look to the right, for you it's the left. Here are the 2 screws. Very nice. Let's move on. For the next step, we need this part. Here. Here and here are bullet holes that need to be closed off. This part is a bit thicker. Closes off this one. And the other 2 are like flat discs. They go in here and here. And don't forget the glue, or they will drop off. When you're done, it looks like this. And now we connect those 2 parts. When you are done, it looks like this, and no worries, I didn't forget a step here and here. And here in the middle, there needs to go a screw, so you need 3 of those in total. This is heavy. Jesus, that's a heavy kitty. Next is the silver piece that goes in here. And up top, this part. And don't forget the glue. Here's your result. Silver piece here, black and yellow piece over here. And for the final step for this magazine, this black piece and this very colorful piece. The big one here, the small one here. And as always, we use glue to have everything stay in place. So we're done for today. Sabertooth Tiger is complete. I would say the girls win the race. Kimberly and Trini completed the swords first. Sorry guys. Yeah. For comparison, the 90s and the Legacy one, this is so tiny. The biggest difference here is not only the size and the quality. It's like this cannon is retractable. They don't have that. And this one has lights. I didn't recharge that battery since I built it about a year ago. Roughly a year. Yeah, the Sabertooth Tiger head was the second thing we did after Megazord's head. Jesus, it has been a year since then. And the desk is too small to present this in the correct way, I guess. I will try my best to give you a 360 of this. So, the cannon, or tail, goes like so. This is heavy. I'm so frightened that I kind of break it. This has the size of a real cat, if you compare it. Well, a small cat, but still. Yeah, doesn't run around, doesn't move, but you don't know what the future brings. So maybe in 10 years time we have a robot cat like that. Or somebody does AI, whatever, magic, and not like in picture generation or video generation, like writing code, putting motors in here and like, here kitty kitty. I'm just fooling around, but there are people who are crazy out there who can do stuff like that. Yeah, and if we hold the cannon in again, and give me a sec. Yeah, well, in comparison, this is the foot of the Megazord. Well, one of them. So the other one on top. If I'm done with this dude, he will not fit in frame on this desk. I said it before, and I'll repeat myself here. When we're complete, I have to do my setup over there in the room and show you the tank mode and the Megazord mode individually with a bigger space area. Also, I have the fear if I fool around too much, it might drop from the desk and shatter in pieces. So, yeah. Anyways, thank you for watching, thank you for the support, and we see us next time when it's time to build the Megazord.